I told you guys a week ago I was the first one to it, huh? I don't break news. Good job. Good job, Chael. But I told you that Pereira was going to rematch Ankalaev. And while that's not exactly a secret, I did share for you that that was going to be in October. And Ali confirmed that fight. I don't believe he confirmed the October. But he confirmed it yesterday. Ali represents Ankalaev. The reason that stood out for me is I thought and even held out hope that Alex would go to heavyweight, be the first ever to attempt champ, take on Tom, return to Madison Square Garden, where he's got a very big base and has competed a number of times. And part of my hope for it is that I feel that Surreal versus Tom is not, look, I'm gonna have to get on board. Right? I mean, it's one of those things. If that's the direction that we're going, but that's a tough piece of business. Particularly if all the other pieces are true. If we're doing it for the heavyweight champ, the undisputed heavyweight championship, and we're doing it at the Garden, and we're doing it on pay-per-view. I mean, right? Like there's things that have to be satisfied, and you must have a mandate of the masses. And I've told you before, and I will tell you again, those calls went out. That fight was made. It was just when that fight wasn't announced, and then all of a sudden you got John returning to the testing pool, and then you notice that Alex versus Ankalaev also wasn't announced. It created some room for me to have a conspiracy that there was going to be a change, even though these were the calls that made, hey, we're gonna switch the order here. In which case, I was suggesting that perhaps Alex go up. Now, I wasn't going as far as to predict it for you, but I was telling you that I thought that would be more interesting. And one thing that is compelling to me is that we don't know what's next for Tom. That's decided. That is decided, and those calls are made. It's just a matter of us being revealed. But I will tell you, you could tell a friend, or tell a fighter. None of them can keep a secret. If you got a press release, you got an announcement, or you're going to do some type of a reveal or a package during a pay-per-view, you can keep that for a couple of days. You call a guy and you tell him, do not tell anybody. Here's what's up. We're going to drop this. We want to be the ones to announce it. You can do that. That is a very normal operating procedure, and it gets respected. But the guy tells somebody. It's just a matter if you have a couple or a few days that somebody doesn't tell somebody who tells somebody who breaks the trust and goes to the internet because he's a troll that can't be trusted. Those secrets don't hold up for a month, just by example. But this one has. This one has. It's not a full 30 days, but those phone calls and that decision has been made. The only thing that we have to speculate about is that idea going to be broken? And you as anybody in life, but that includes a matchmaker, you are as good as the information that you have at the time. So when Surreal versus Tom was, I'm dancing around telling you that's the calls that we made. It's Surreal versus Tom. I'm just going further by letting you know that without the announcement and the surprising interest in that contest, that there was room to adjust. And that I thought perhaps that they would, but it lessens your ability. It lessens your room to adjust per the speculative conspiracy that I'm laying out. I have no information. I'm guessing. I'm trying to guess. But when Alex comes off the board, right, when that piece comes off the board, it changes your ability to speculate. It strengthens the resolve we're going to go through with the plan as it is. However, there is one dangling thing, which is Jon Jones's return to the pool. There is no other way to interpret that, right? And that's in conjunction with Jon Jones returning to practice. He had a workout. He was in his garage. A couple big tough studs came over and got a workout in conjunction with returning to the pool. Here's one part to the piece, though, or one piece to the part. Return to the pool. What does that mean? Under current conditions, under former conditions, for somebody with a failed test in their past, it would require a minimum of 2 tests and 6 months. Weird thing to say, a minimum of 2 tests. You're the one testing. Come out and test. Right? You get the right to test them anytime you want. What do you mean a minimum of 2? That's on you, but they still put it in the rules. And also 6 months. But that is a rule that I don't believe would hold up. That is an interpretation. I've stared at that rule 20 times. I don't believe that interpretation actually would hold up. Now, I'm also going by an old standard that is not in place anymore. Or is it? So, what is going on at heavyweight? Can you guys change your mind? There's a history with Tom and Surreal. It's an interesting match. Whatever happens, it's going to be a come down from what you were expecting, right? Like John and Tom was the fight of our industry. It's just the biggest thing that our industry could put together. So you're going to have a lessening. And I'm just asking you, can you change your mind and get behind it? I'm asking you that, but I'm also telling you it's more likely now than it was prior to the confirmation that Alex is fighting Uncle Live. It's more relevant now that you're going to have to get behind that idea.